Hello family, welcome back to the channel. Today we are making these beautiful calzone. I hope I pronounced it right. My Italian friends, please let me know. But anyway, let's get started. I am going to be using my measuring cup instead of my scale for this recipe because I feel like a lot of people have measuring cups and it's easier to get. So please get a measuring cup, okay? A lot of you are telling me that you want to do more baking or you want to see more baking on this channel, so please get some measuring cups so we can get started, okay? I have just measured out here loosely about 3 cups of bread flour. I am using bread flour because I like using strong bread flour in my pizza, bread, sort of baking recipes because I like the texture that it gives me, okay? And to this, I am also going to be adding 1 teaspoon of yeast. You can tell that I am literally on the last bit of my yeast because I bake so much, okay? Then 1 tablespoon of sugar. Again, please get some measuring cups and some measuring spoons. It's really helpful, okay? Another 1 teaspoon of salt. And I'm just going to mix everything together. So this is just going to be the pizza base of our calzone. So it's basically pizza, okay, stuffed with lots of goodies, okay? So now I'm going to be adding 3 tablespoons of olive oil. And then I am going to add about 1.5 cup depending on the flour that you have. So just start off with 1 cup of water and then work your way up, okay? Don't add too much water to begin with because if you do, then you will end up, messing up the pizza dough, okay? So just start gradually and add some water as you go. Please make sure that your water is warm, not cold, not hot, so that you don't deactivate the yeast, okay? So I'm just gonna mix this. You can also do this by hand. Just mix it until all the gluten is activated and your dough is nice and soft and stretchy. Once you have achieved this lovely smooth dough, you're just going to cover this up and allow this to double in size, and then we will get started with our calzone. I will list all the ingredients that I used in the description box below, so please do check that out, okay? So yes, cover with the cling film and just leave it to rest in a warm place until it's doubled in size. So for the filling, I have some pepperoni, some basil and some chopped jalapenos and also some mozzarella cheese. And yes, I am using lasagna sauce because I just like the way it tastes. But please feel free to go ahead and use any sauce that you prefer, okay? I'm also going to be using some semolina. This is just for some texture. It's totally optional, but you don't have to use it. But once you have it when you're sort of forming the dough, it just gives it a nice crunchy texture on the outside. So now that my dough has doubled in size, I am just going to put a little bit of semolina. And also add a bit of flour to it because I don't want my dough to stick on the surface. So I'm just going to take out some of the air bubbles that were developed whilst the dough was rising by just kneading it together, and this is why I was talking about the semolina. So once the semolina just gets around the dough, it just gives it a nice texture to it. Then I'm just going to divide this into 2 equal pieces and then sort of begin to form my dough, okay? So you know how a pizza is supposed to look like, okay? Just make sure that you have like a nice circular dough, okay? So I'm just doing this by rotating and then rolling. Okay, so I roll it and then I'll rotate it and roll it so that I don't roll too much on one side or too little on the other side, so that I can just get a nice sort of round shape. The thinner you roll it out, the crunchier your pizza dough will become once it bakes. So it's up to you on how you want it. I sort of like it more of a bready consistency, so I won't roll it out too thinly. And then I will just add in my pasta sauce or pizza sauce or whatever you're using. Please make sure that you don't put the sauce too much on the edges, because when you are rolling it, it's just going to start to spill out a little bit and it will make it hard for you to seal it. Okay, so be mindful of that. So once that is done, I am going to top this up with some mozzarella cheese. You can use any cheese of your liking. You can use as much, you can use as little. It's entirely up to you. Then I'm going to go ahead and top this up with some pepperoni. Of course, you can use any toppings of your choice, but these are the toppings that I prefer. But you can go ahead and use any toppings that you have. You can make it vegetarian, you can make it anything that you like, okay? And then I'm topping this up with some basil. Okay, now this basil is really a game changer, and I highly recommend that you use some basil. Okay, it's going to elevate the taste so much. And I've also added some jalapenos for a little bit of heat. Okay, but it's optional. Then what you do is you fold this over and you're going to place your finger like this and you're just going to fold it over, okay, like how I'm doing. I hope that makes sense. So you just put your finger there and then just fold the dough over. All you're trying to do is to just seal off the dough so that it doesn't open up when it bakes. Okay, see, when I told you about not overdoing the tomatoes, that's what I meant. So just fold it up until you get to the end, ensuring that all the ends are sealed up nicely. You don't want this to explode in the oven. So I'm just ensuring that everything is sealed up nicely so it doesn't open up. And I'm just going to go ahead and do the remaining of the dough. So once I'm done, I'm just going to give this a nice egg wash just to make sure that it's nice and golden brown when it goes into the oven. Taste wise, it doesn't do anything, it just looks nice. Okay, so right now I'm just cutting some holes into the pizza because you don't want it to explode. You want to give it some sort of window to vent when it is in the oven, and I'm just doing the same thing to the other one. Once it's done, I'm going to put it in the oven for about 160 degrees for about 20 minutes. It doesn't take that long, and voila, here you go. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Okay, look at how that is, and the smell is amazing. I know it's pizza, but when I tell you that the basil makes such a difference, it really does. Okay, you have to try this recipe. It is so good. It is too good and too simple not to try. Okay, but if you made it so far in this video, thank you so much for watching. Please do give me a thumbs up by liking this video. I would really appreciate it. Comment below and let me know if you will be making this and what else you want to see on the channel. Okay, whether you want more baking videos, whatever you want, comment below and let me know. Okay, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet subscribed. Share with everyone. Okay, I'll see you in my next video. Bye.